AMC is a stinking, festering turd that needs to go away and never return. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. AMC just had earnings today. Too bad a lot of you clowns didn't listen to me about a year and a half ago when I said this was a dying theater company. And you freaking losers ignored me, made fun of me, said you were all going to be billionaires. And look where you're at right now. Getting diluted to kingdom come. Yeehaw! So let's go ahead and dissect AMC earnings. But before we do that, let's just bask in the glory of the absolute decline and destruction of AMC stock. Look at that MOASS, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see it right in the middle? That was your MOASS. There will never be another MOASS for AMC ever again. All of your hopes and dreams of having a Lambo, of living on an island with the ape father while he rubs suntan lotion into your back, that's not going to ever happen. You're always going to be a broke little loser. And even though you made death threats against me and said terrible things about me in the comments section, I'm willing to forgive you, AMC apes, if you just acknowledge my brilliance. So, why is AMC stock down so much? Well, it's got some debt issues, and the only way it's getting out of debt is by issuing shares, and that's not a sustainable business model. No. At least for investors. Now, if you're an employee or the CEO, man, as long as you get your check, it doesn't matter, right? Paycheck's getting fueled by the investors. It's wonderful, and by debt. So let's go ahead and check out AMC's earnings, and I'm going to tell you why this company will probably go bankrupt. Total revenues for 2022 were just under $4 billion, okay? Now, here's why AMC is in massive decline, okay? Before the pandemic, AMC had $5.4 billion of revenue in 2019, okay? And then the pandemic happened, and of course, revenues collapsed. But you would think, now that the pandemic is over with, wouldn't revenues recover? Wouldn't that make 100% sense? And on top of that, we have inflation, right? So people should be generating more revenue than before because now dollars less powerful, worth less money. Well, as a matter of fact, no, revenues have not recovered in the freaking slightest. This company is screwed. If their revenue can't even recover, how are they ever going to turn a profit? And remember, their revenue or their profit has always been garbage. Always. Look at their profit over the last 7 years. 2.5%, 3.5%, 3.5%, negative 10%, 2%, negative 2%. So even in their highest revenue year, their profit was negative. So best case, this company recovers to its full glory. And you know what? You're in a razor-thin margin business that's freaking dying, okay? You know how many times I've been to the theater? I used to go all the time when I was a kid. I remember I lived on a military base in Italy, and I'd go and watch the movie and get some popcorn and a drink, and it was delicious. It was amazing. I have so much soda that there would just be sugar just flooding through my veins, and I had like a freaking gut. Not like I am now, sexy and delicious. But back then, I used to go all the freaking time. And guess what? Now I just stay home and watch movies. Wow! Or I can rent them on my 65-inch TV. It's so screwed, okay? So that's the first thing right there, is even if they somehow get back to profitability, which I doubt, their revenue is an absolute decline, okay? Net loss decreased to $973 million, including a non-cash impairment charge related to long-lived assets of $133 million. So it looks like they had to write down some of the value of their crappy buildings by $133 million. But even with that one-time, theoretically, non-cash impairment charge, their margins are still awful. Let's calculate their margin right now for the full year. 973 divided by 3,911. Negative 24% for the full year 2022. What was their margin for the last quarter? So total revenues were 990 and their net loss was 287 million. 287 divided by 990. So their loss was negative 28% for the last quarter of 2022. Now, a big part of that was that non-cash impairment charge related to long-lived assets. That was all taken in the fourth quarter of 2022. Okay. So even if we exclude that, their loss is still negative 15% profit margin, excluding that charge where they wrote down their buildings. That's what I think they did. This is a joke. Negative 15% profit margin. Okay. What a freaking joke. So we go down and we see that there's actually something very interesting. Okay. So I was looking at the income statement, right? Obviously, AMC's unprofitable garbage. Let's see what else they did. During the fourth quarter of 2022, AMC completed a private offering of $400 million aggregate principal amount of 12.75% senior secured notes. They're paying 12.75% on debt. Holy freaking crap. And it looks like the issue price was 92%. So it looks like basically how it works with bonds is when you borrow money, when you pay back the note, if it's a bond where you pay periodic interest payments and then you pay back the principal at the end, they're going to have to pay back all 400 million. But it looks like they only got 92% of that. So so basically what I think happened was they got 92% of 400 million. They got $368 million of cash, right? Then they have to pay 12.75%. And then at the end of the bond's term, they have to pay back $400 million. So it looks like this bond's interest is not just 12.75%, if I'm reading this right. It's actually higher. That's a pretty insane interest rate, okay? They repurchased some debt. So basically they reduced some debt and they refinanced some debt. But overall, they're going into debt and they're issuing shares. Wow. And they're not going to be able to really pay off their debt except through share issuance because they're not generating positive operating cash flows, as we're going to see in a second. And guess how they're raising money? By convincing you AMC morons to keep the stock price pumped up. It's so hilarious. The AMC apes control this company. Aren't they like 80% of the shareholders? And AMC, the management, Adam Aaron, he knows what he's doing. He just keeps you motivated and owning the stock so he can keep diluting you and giving out more shares and taking in more cash. And all the new investors are going to potentially make money while you, the initial shareholder, is going to get diluted to kingdom come. Wow. Okay. Now, it kind of annoyed me because they didn't give a full balance sheet. They gave a full income statement, which we know is absolute freaking trash. Okay. Even besides the impairment, they're still unprofitable. But look what they give us for their balance sheet. This is the balance sheet. Cash and cash equivalents, okay, $631 million. Corporate borrowings, $5 billion. Other long-term liabilities, $105 million. Finance lease liabilities, $58. Total AMC Entertainment holders, stockholders deficit. Stockholders deficit. What does that mean? What I think that means is that AMC has more debt than assets. And I don't know about you, but when you have more debt than assets, that's generally a bad thing. And they have negative cash flow, both from operations and from investing activities. Okay. In the last quarter, they burned roughly $100 million of free cash flow. So funny enough, think about it from an individual's perspective. Imagine somebody you know, or maybe it's you, and you have $1 million. Let's keep it simple. You have $1,000 of debt and you have $500 of cash. Okay. $1,000 of debt, $500 of cash. You're underwater, right? Well, you could always use your paycheck to eventually pay that off, right? Well, what if your paycheck was less than your bills? What if you were losing so much money, you were spending so much money that every month, let's say you made $100 and then your bills were $200. Well, you're burning $100 a month in excess of what you're freaking making. And guess what that means? You're going to have to borrow more money to stay afloat. And guess what? If nobody wants to give you money at some point because you're too much of a risk, you're going to have to declare bankruptcy. It's just like that for a corporation, except they have some more options like issuing shares. And they did it by issuing these little ape units. Well, guess what happens when they run out of apes? What then? What's going to happen then? They're going to borrow. Who's going to lend them money? They're already taking out debt at 12.75%. That's insane. 12.75% debt. And if interest rates stay elevated, oh boy, oh man. AMC is delaying the inevitable. This is a dead business, okay? I don't care if the stock price goes up. Look at the revenue pre-pandemic and look at the revenue after pandemic. It hasn't even come close to freaking recovering. Not in the slightest. It's billions of dollars away from where it was before the pandemic. And even when it was doing better, it was barely freaking profitable. Y'all are screwed, man. I don't know why you own this stupid stock. It's a joke. So wait, it loses money every quarter. It has more debt than assets. And they're massively diluting you, and they're tricking. They overtly tricked you. Overtly. They say, apes we're just giving out these apes for free because we love our shareholders. Here you go. Oh, you have an AMC share. Here's an ape. We're not going to do anything with these apes. We're just giving it to you, bro. And you clowns ate it up. Oh, yeah, apes. And guess what freaking happened? Now you're getting diluted to kingdom come. Go ahead, keep investing in your dying theater company. I'm sure you guys are going to do great. You're going to do so wonderful. Sup, strong man? What's up? But it's going to MOASS. I mean, at this point, do you still believe it's going to really? Do you really still believe AMC is going to MOASS? I feel like I'm going to be 50 years old still saying this, and you clowns are still going to be buying it. And all those AMC clowns that convince you to buy it, what are their consequences? Nothing. They have huge YouTube channels now. Trades, what's his nuts? Matt Kors. They're all killing it now. They're making so much money. And you know how they did it? They got popular pumping trash. And guess who didn't get popular pumping trash? Me. That's right. I'm a freaking hero. Nobody factors in dilution when talking about these memes. Well, that's because you're dealing with like the dumbest people on the planet. Strongman, I have a question. Can you look at Zevia? Could be the next. I don't know what that stock is. You can email me. If I have time, I'll look at it. Should I join Jeremy's Patreon? Yes. 100%. You should pay him. You should sign up twice. 2 different accounts. Popcorn, please. Yeah, didn't they mention something about popcorn? Hold on a second. Like they're going to save their company selling popcorn. Hold on a second. Popcorn. We continue. We continue to innovate, noting our announcement just today that we are launching AMC Perfectly Popcorn in more than 2,600 Walmart stores. And in stark contrast to others in our industry who have faltered, AMC Entertainment has increased our liquidity profile and strengthened our balance sheet through equity capital raising, debt refinancing, debt exchanges, and repurchases. Oh, we got popcorn! Oh, my Lord. As we have been saying for a long time, the industry-wide box office will not return to pre-pandemic norms before 2024 or 2025 at the earliest. Oh, my Lord. They're not even going to return to profitability, if they even get there ever, until maybe 2024 or 2025. Oh, my God. What a freaking clown stock, man. My victory is complete. I've been so right. And it just feels so good. I'm about to go eat some dinner. 10% in a couple hours and we're the fools. Negative 10% in a couple hours and we're the fools. Oh, yeah. Did the stock go up before earnings? I bet the clowns were, this could be the MOASS. And then it collapses after earnings. That was a hilarious call. I made mucho dollars on AMC and got out quick. That diamond hand stuff was not. Yeah, man. I mean, I know people that made a lot of money on playing AMC, but the clowns that are diamond handing it are stupid. Explain MOASS. So apparently it's called the mother of all short squeezes. And basically what it means is all these hedge funds are super short because here the hedge funds are so dumb that they're just going to just let themselves be destroyed. Okay. And you may laugh and say, well, they did that before, strong man. Look at Melvin Capital or whatever. And I come back at you and I say, yeah, the apes and the GameStop clowns, whatever they call themselves, the doofuses, the dorks, they caught the hedge funds with their pants down one time. One time. And guess what? The hedge funds have now adapted. You think the hedge funds are just sitting there short AMC stock? Well, they probably are because they're smart. You think they're just going to sit there knowing there's going to be this imminent MOASS and they're doing nothing about it? They're just sitting there. Oh, we're just going to be absolutely destroyed and we're going to have to cover our shorts and trigger a massive short squeeze and it's just going to annihilate us. Yeah, but there's nothing we can do. No, of course not. They're probably making money off of you freaking clowns. But the MOASS is basically this theory that there's going to be the mother of all short squeezes because all the hedgies are going to have to cover for some random reason. And the stock's going to go to 20,000 per share and all the retail is going to sell at exactly the top and everybody's going to be a billionaire and all the hedgies are all going to go bankrupt. It's stupid. I thought AMC would use their movies to mine their new crypto and use AI for people. I would not be surprised if AMC started talking about crypto and AI just to like pump their stock price. AMC, Jimmy, I don't know what that means. Sounds like the moon is the center of Earth today. MOASS soon. It already went up a lot back then. Yeah, well, everybody missed their chance to make money, okay? If you're going to make money on AMC, you probably, well, I'm not going to say short it, but that's how you do it. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap. AMC's a clown stock, and I think it's going to go bankrupt eventually. And it has more debt than assets, which is a joke. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.